leaky brain. My name is Dr. Vicki Peterson, and this is something that is very new in our understanding, actually, in the grand scheme of things, because when I went to school and I was getting my training, we learned about what's called the BBB, the blood-brain barrier. And this was a barrier that was designed to protect the brain, and supposedly nothing bad could get through that barrier. Unfortunately, I mean, that was a real thing, but unfortunately, that is no longer, meaning we can have a leaky brain. And the symptoms associated with that, to see if you fall in this category, are headaches, migraines, depression, anxiety, fatigue, ADD, ADHD, in our older population, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, having brain fog, having trouble concentrating. All of these symptoms, if I didn't mention fatigue, all of these symptoms are associated with a leaky brain. And what's causing the leaky brain is really the same things causing a leaky gut, which the reason I decided to do this video today is I just got back from a corporation here in Silicon Valley where I gave the lecture on the gut-brain connection. And I thought this is really something that we need to talk about more. And so the leaky brain, as I said, is correlated to a leaky gut. And what happens with a leaky gut, same thing. We should have this sort of nice barrier between us and our bloodstream, meaning the inside of your gut is a protective barrier whereby it allows the passage of healthy food, but it doesn't allow toxins, bacteria, parasites, certain chemicals to leave your gut and go out into your bloodstream. So it's protected. It's supposed to protect you. And then the barrier for the brain is supposed to protect the very vital brain. So where did all this permeability or leakiness come from? Unfortunately, it's come from our diet and lifestyle. So there are many things we don't have control over, which I never put emphasis on what I don't have control over, because what's the point? But there's enough that we do have control over that will make enough of a difference that we don't have to suffer with a leaky brain or a leaky gut. So some of the key factors that we're looking at is inflammation and not having too much inflammation. The good side of inflammation is that it's done by your immune system, and inflammation helps kill bad guys, which we want. So killing cancer cells and bacteria and parasites. So you want the you want the immune system to be strong in its inflammatory tendencies and abilities to kill bad guys. But what you don't want is chronic inflammation. So when those immune cells sort of come to rise up to kill a bacteria or a cancer cell, that's great. That's doing exactly what you want them to do. And then you want them to chill out and not continue their inflammatory process. So what we're suffering from here in the US and most industrialized nations is chronic inflammation. So it's leading to the degenerative diseases we're trying to avoid, including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Those are degenerative diseases as well. And it's creating these symptoms that we talked about earlier. So what we want to do is really get to the root of, okay, what can we do to heal the gut and heal the brain, because they're very much tied together. Some key dietary things you want to look at is 9 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. I like it heavier on the vegetable than on the fruit, maybe 7 to 2 or 6 to 3, depending how you tolerate fruit. And what's great about that is that the microbiome, which is the good bacteria, the 100 trillion good bacteria in your intestines, they love good fiber. And you don't get fiber from a pill, you get it from real food, and that's where the fruits and the vegetables come in. So getting those 9 servings every day is very key. And then also you'll get additional fiber from beans and legumes. So that's another integral part of your diet that you want to make sure that you add to it, because that will make a very healthy gut, which then takes down inflammation in the brain as well. You also want to make sure you have good fats. You've all heard of the omega-3 fatty acids. They are anti-inflammatory. That's what makes them so healthy. But where do you get them? All you have to say to almost any American is omega-3, and they say fish. We've been very well trained on that. And it's true. The fish are a good source. Certain fish are a very good source. But you have to eat fish with the worry of maybe high mercury coming along with that great fish. So the reason fish are high in the omega-3s is they eat algae. Algae is a plant, and it can be grown in clean water, and you can get the same little gel type capsule that contains algae that has still the great omega-3 fatty acids, the EPA and the DHA, which are so anti-inflammatory and so healthful. So it's probably about the same price, so it's not a cost savings, but it is a not have to worry about heavy metals coming along with the fish savings, and you're still getting that wonderful omega-3 fatty acid. And when it comes to diet, no sugar. I'm sorry, I know. I don't miss it anymore. I won't say I really miss it, but I used to be a sugar addict. Cancer cells love sugar. Sugar is very pro-inflammatory. It stimulates a lot of processes in the body that are inflammatory. It's terrible. Equally terrible, even a little more terrible, are artificial sweeteners. So I'm definitely not saying don't eat the sugar, eat the artificial sweeteners. No, neither one is an option, truly. I know, so what do you eat? This came up at the lecture I gave today. So I think stevia in moderation is safe. Stevia is a plant. It's not an artificial chemical. And then date sugar is nice. It's just dried up dates that have been ground up, so it's really a whole food. There's also coconut sugar in moderation. There's fruit, which is deliciously sweet. And so, but I think the date sugar, the stevia, and the coconut sugar are my personal favorite. Maybe a little honey in your tea is also fine. But the artificial sweeteners, 0, 0, 0. No fast food, overly processed food. That's terrible. You're avoiding GMO-laden food because of the glyphosate. So glyphosate is the chemical in the weed killer Roundup that is a known carcinogen, and it has to be avoided. So the highest crops of glyphosate in the U.S. are wheat and soy and beet sugar. So the sugar beet population of plant. So you want to stay away from those and only eat your wheat if you're not gluten sensitive, wheat and soy that's organic to avoid the glyphosate exposure. So then the other thing we do here at the clinic, if somebody's having symptoms of leaky gut and or leaky brain, is really get to the root of anything very specific for them. So I just gave you a lot of generalities as far as the fruits and the vegetables and the good fats, etc. But now we need to get to the specific to really make it personalized to you. So do you have food sensitivities, and what are they? Do you have hidden infections or hidden toxins? I call them hidden because they're deep in the gut that we need to identify and eradicate. Do you have any genetic predispositions that are kind of moving you in that direction of not being able to detoxify as well or deal with certain things coming your way from diet and lifestyle as well? So we do that also. And then hormonal balance is another really key one, especially with the leaky brain. You want to make sure that the hormones are really, really balanced. And this is not just for women, men too, and it's really all ages, and we're seeing it because our stress levels are so high. We're also seeing it because there's a lot of chemicals that act like estrogen, and estrogen being given to our animals that then we consume. So all of these estrogen like chemicals are offsetting our own hormones, creating a lot of different issues. So it's the general I wanted to give you. Have you understand the symptoms associated with leaky brain and leaky gut, and then also know that there's a very personalized program that we will develop to handle that for you. So hopefully that was some good information, and please reach out if you have some of these symptoms and you're suffering. You don't need to. The body loves to heal. It's very, very strong. Call us for a free consultation. The phone number here is 408-733-0400, or reach out to us via the website, which is rootcausemedicalclinics.com, and I'll see you soon.